positive attitude, displays energy, is a rising star. Is a fairly new member of our club. And I would like to introduce our mystery speaker, Jose Luiz Martinez. Let me reintroduce Jose Luiz Morales, our mystery speaker.
Wow. When I found out I was a mystery speaker, I was just like, really? Really? But then I found out the topic is family, so it's something that I can really talk off the top of my head. And it's something that just yesterday I posted a Facebook quote on Facebook, and I was out doing my agent visual inspection for one of my escrows, and I was in a 2-bedroom apartment, and there was like 10 kids in there, and the living conditions were not the greatest living conditions out there. And I thought to myself how lucky I was to have the family that I had, how lucky I was for the upbringing that I had, how lucky I was for the role models, which are my parents, that I looked up to every day. So this morning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history of how I was brought up and how my family has played the most important role in where I am today. My family, if you look at them now, you would have never guessed where they come from. If you look at the way where they live, the house where they live, you would have never guessed that not just 20 years ago, they were living in Mexico. They were Mexican immigrants looking for more opportunities, looking for the American dream. They managed to come to this country working 2-3 jobs at the same time and staying to the root of the way they were brought up, which was to work hard, stay humble, and succeed at all costs. They had no education. They were just good-hearted people that practiced doing the right thing, or believed in doing the right thing, and by doing the right thing, they were blessed with many great opportunities. Growing up, my mother worked in the strawberry fields, and she worked at the store where they currently own, the cowboy shop that I've talked before about in the past. So she had, and she sold jewelry on the side. At the cowboy store, she was the best employee there. She used to take care of the orders, she used to take care of the check cashing, she took care of everything. And the owner saw that. So when he decided to sell, he offered her the opportunity to take over the store. And at the time, it wasn't the greatest store, but there came an era called La Quebradita, which was a big Mexican era of a cowboy generation that just came in, and it just happened to be luck that they were the only cowboy store in Oxnard, and they were just blessed with so much business. Now, growing up, my parents made money through the cowboy store, but they decided to invest that money, and they decided to invest that money in real estate. They started off with 1 property, then they started off with 2 properties, then 3 properties, then 4, then 5, and it just kept going and going. And instead of making that money and going off to Vegas, going off to Cancun, going off and spending it, not foolishly, but just going out there saying, hey, we've got a business, we make a lot of money, we're just going to go flaunt it. No, they stayed humble. And that's the way that I was brought up. I was brought up to treat everybody with respect, to treat everybody with honesty, and to live by the golden rule. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. And if you treat others the way that you want to be treated, you're going to find yourself living a much better life. You're going to find yourself being blessed. You're going to find yourself having a lot of friends, a lot of people just being there when you need them the most. Now, the one thing that I learned about my family is the support. My family is a very tight-knit family. When we have family parties, it's not 36. It's more like 40, 50 people all in one house. And this doesn't happen once a year. This happens, we have a birthday party about once every week at least. Maybe twice every week. So it's like, whose birthday is it this week? And that's the way I was brought up. I was brought up to always be there for my family. I was brought up with the mentality that blood is thicker than water. To always be there and support my family. If they ever need anything, if they call me at 2 in the morning with anything, they can be assured that I will be there to provide anything that they ever need. If they ever need money, it's not even that you have to think about it anymore. It's just the way that I was brought up. It's an instinct that I need to do the right thing. And based on the way I was brought up, the things I learned about investing, the things I learned about the staying humble, the things that I learned about family values is what has shaped my life today. So when you look at me today and you look at the way I was brought up, now most of you can see why I am the way that I am, because of the way I was brought up. So I want to end this presentation with my feelings with the family that I saw yesterday. 10 kids living in one small apartment. I felt like, what can I do to help them out? It was saddening. I was just like, they had loud music, there were kids in the bedroom, there was kids in the other bedroom, there was kids on the ground, there was cockroaches on top of the oven. It made me be really grateful and thankful for all the opportunities that I was brought up with and the positive role models that I had. I think about that, if I would have grew up in that same environment that those kids were brought up, how hard it would be for me to break that cycle and think big. Think about investing in 2, 4, 6 properties rather than just living paycheck to survive. And I thought about it, just how grateful I am for my parents, my family, and all the people that are around me. And this story was mainly just to say thank you to my parents for the way I was brought up. And yeah, so family always comes first.